So a couple of key takeaways from today. Number one, understand where the customer is on that journey of unknown problem. Are they problem aware? Are they problem aware? Or are they problem ambivalent? If the problem is not known, there's some work that needs to be done. Are they solution aware or not? If the solution is unknown, then there's some work that needs to be done there. And if you put this stuff up on a 2x2, you can start to determine, where do I put more time, energy, and resource to not only help our customers become more aware of the problems that exist, if they actually exist inside their market space, and then how do I get information out in front of customers so that they become more aware of the solutions that exist in the marketplace. It is Whiteboard Wednesday, and I want to talk a bit about the transition that our customers go through as they start to consider whether or not they want to solve a problem that's in front of them. And we're out there as solution providers. We help people solve problems. We don't create those problems. We might help them reveal the problem, but we're not creating the problem. The problem already exists. There's enough problems out there in the world that we don't need to go out there and create or manufacture problems. So let's talk about how we feel once we've solved a problem. Well, once we've solved a problem, we should have a big old smile on our face and we're really excited, right? And how do we feel, if we go to the other side, how do we feel when we realize we have a problem? We might have, depending on what our perspective is with problems, we might have a sad face. Well, there's some in-between stuff that happens, and there's some stuff that happens beforehand. Let's focus first on the in-between stuff. Well, what happens right before we solve? Well, before we solve, we actually have to do some work. So we might be somewhat smiley as we move through doing the work with a bunch of people as we implement a solution. So we decide, we implement, we do work, we implement, okay? Before that, we have to decide. So we might have a question mark around how are we actually going to go through the process of solving the problem. And then before that, we need to explore. So we're going to go through and we're going to start to explore. That's a magnifying glass. I should probably do some binoculars, but we're going to explore potential solutions. So we've got a couple of different stages. We are sad because we have a problem. We start to look at certain potential solutions. We make a decision associated with the solution. We then go ahead and implement, and ideally we're happy at the end. So in this area, when we're making a decision, solutions are now known. Known solution. Prior to this, the solution is unknown. So we go from unknown solution to known solution, and that's a continuum. It's a transition, it's a shift. There's a, you move from, there's things that we are not aware of to now there are things that we are aware of. Well, on the same side with the problem, we also run into this. Here we've got a known problem. And just before that, we may not even be aware, we might have an unknown problem. We may not even be aware that the problem exists. So in this stage, we're actually kind of, ambivalent. So if we think about our customers going through some kind of a decision, and there's been a number of people that we'll talk about this in different ways. I like to think about what do the faces look like of the customers they go through this process. Where does tension get created? Where's happiness? Where does optimism get created? There are these different stages that our customers are going through. One of the biggest challenges we run into as revenue leaders, as revenue professionals inside organizations, as people who want to serve others, is understanding what stage our customers at. If you're not a revenue leader, you might believe that every customer is at this stage of, hey, I've got a known problem and I'm looking for a solution. The reality is they may or may not be there. So as leaders inside our organizations, what we should be doing is looking at this on a 2x2, and I'll throw this up next. Let's look at this as on a 2x2 and say, is the thing that we're solving for, is the problem unknown or known? Is the problem unknown or known? Where does it fit on that continuum, on this axis? And then on the other side, is the solution unknown or known? Depending on where you fit on this continuum, let's talk about problem, hunger, solution, In-N-Out Burger. Lots of marketing and attention can draw people to that. So we've got a problem, and let me put this down here a little bit more. That one, a lot of marketing. There's not a lot of sales that has to happen relative to, or selling that has to happen when it comes to In-N-Out Burger. It's the best restaurant in the entire world. There's no doubt. So we move from known problem, known solution, then we start to do some marketing. Well, what about in a situation where the problem is both unknown and the solution is unknown? Well, here we've got to do a lot of one-to-one sales discussions with customers, being able to ask questions to reveal an understanding of the problem. So here we might be more heavily slanted towards sales, and on this side, we might be more heavily slanted toward marketing. The challenge is figuring out what works well or what works best for you and your organization, your customer base. So a couple of key takeaways from today. Number one, understand where the customer is on that journey of unknown problem. Are they problem aware? Are they problem aware or are they problem ambivalent? If the problem is not known, there's some work that needs to be done. Are they solution aware or not? If the solution is unknown, then there's some work that needs to be done there. And if you put this stuff up on a 2x2, you can start to determine, where do I put more time, energy, and resource to not only help our customers become more aware of the problems that exist, if they actually exist inside their market space, and then how do I get information out in front of customers so that they become more aware of the solutions that exist in the marketplace. Hope you enjoyed this edition of Whiteboard Wednesday. I know I went a little bit long, and as always, I look forward to the feedback. If there's something you'd like to see me talk about in Whiteboard Wednesday, or a specific scenario that you'd like to go through, just let me know. Send me a direct message. If you'd like to go back and watch any of the other videos, check out the YouTube channel and just look for the playlist, Whiteboard Wednesday. If you know somebody who would find this valuable, please share it with them. Thank you.